Dear students, the first question for today's session we have here is Bartholin's glands are situated. The given options are on the side of head of some amphibians, at the reduced tail end of birds, on either side of vagina in humans, on either side of vas deferens in humans. First of all, let me, my dear friends, that whenever you are talking about the Bartholin glands, all right, they are of course situated on the either side of vagina in human beings. All right, they are very small pea sized, all right, compound glands, all right, pea sized compound, all right, Rethymos gland we generally refer them to as, all right. So further, if I want to tell you that more exactly, if we want to understand this, either side of folds of skin we have on either side of vagina called as labia. All right, these folds of skin, this surrounds the the vagina and the urethra. All right, it surrounds the vagina as well as the urethra. So dear friends, the Bartholin glands, all right, the function is that they secrete the mucus. All right, this mucus is very important for the lubrication of vagina. So now, as I said the Bartholin glands are situated now on the either side of vagina in human beings. Next question we have here is Uterus masculinus in mammals is derived from. Dear students, let me tell you that here the Mullerian ducts, all right, these ducts are called as the paired ducts, which are mesodermal in origin. Mesodermal in origin, in especially in the case of embryo, when the embryo is formed, during that the Mullerian ducts are formed by the mesoderm. All right, we have three primary germ layers: the ectoderm, which is the outer layer; the endoderm, which is the inner layer; and the middle we have as mesoderm, from which all the organs and tissues of our body are formed. Anyway, my dear friends, let me tell you that these Mullerian ducts, they run laterally down the side of the urinogenital ridge. Okay, that you remember. And also let me tell you, okay, if I want to tell you that in the female they will develop to form, all right, fallopian tubes. They will form the fallopian tubes. These Mullerian ducts, they develop to form the fallopian tubes. They form the uterus as well as the upper portion of vagina. All these are formed, all right, by the Mullerian ducts. Now here the question asked is Uterus masculinus in mammals, all right, is derived from. So it is derived from, my dear friends, Mullerian ducts. All right, so the option here is C. The next question we have here is in mammals the testes occur in scrotal sacs outside the viscera because of the. Here friends, let me explain you this question. All right, it's indeed interesting to note that of course the testes are located in the scrotal sacs. All right, why it is located in the scrotal sacs? Because, all right, the the testes of course get protection first of all right, and also apart from that as the pouch it is present outside the abdominal cavity, it provides the right temperature, say probably I can say 2 to 2.5 degree lower temperature than the actual body temperature. All right, internal body temperature, say if we have 37 degrees Celsius, see 2 or 3 degrees Celsius low will be the temperature near the scrotal sacs, where inside which the the testes are situated. All right, so for the formation of sperms or for spermatogenesis, what is spermatogenesis here? The process of formation of sperms. All right, so we need the temperature which should be minimum 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature. Here friends, let me tell you that the testes start their development in the abdominal cavity itself. They start their development in the abdominal cavity, alright. And let me tell you, the testes descend into the scrotal sacs during the 7th month of, alright, the life, alright, in the womb of the mother, or 7th month of fetal life, alright. The baby which is developing inside the womb of mother, if it is 7th month, if it is male, then at this time the testes would have descended into the scrotal sacs, my dear friends, alright. And of course this will occur in the presence of testosterone hormone, alright. So anyway, so the right answer which you have to go for here is option D, that is requirement of lower temperature for spermatogenesis, alright. Only because of that, the majorly the testes are descended in the scrotal sacs. Next question we have, what would happen if vasa differentia of man are cut? Dear student, first of all understand what do you mean by the vasa differentia here, alright. See, the vasa differentia is the dilated continuation of, alright, it is the dilated continuation of the epididymis, alright. Remember, it's a part of the male reproductive system, alright friends. So here let me tell you that now we came to know that the vasa differentia is the dilated part of the, or dilated continuation of the epididymis. Along with that, let me tell you, what happens here, most important to understand is that it is covered by spermatic cord, alright. It is covered by a structure called as spermatic cord, alright. In this spermatic cord which is covering the vasa differentia, alright, there are arteries, alright, and of course there are even veins as well as many autonomic nerves as well, alright my friends. So this is also very important to understand, alright. Even lymphatic and connective tissues are of course present here, alright. Let me repeat, vasa differentia is covered by spermatic cord which has arteries, autonomic nerves, veins, lymphatic and connective tissues. Now let me tell you, if vasa differentia is cut, surgically removed, the procedure is called as vasectomy, alright. So when surgery is done, alright, so what happens is that here very clearly we can say that the semen is without the sperm, because what happens, seminal vesicle, the seminal vesicle is an important structure, alright, which after the vasa difference, which enlarges to form the ampulla, alright. So ampulla is the storage site of the sperms along with the semen before ejaculation, right children. So here what happens, if vasa difference is cut, so it will in fact the sperms will not reach the storage site, and rather the semen will be without sperm. So you have to go for option number 4, that is your right answer. Then dear friends, next question we have, antrum is a cavity, alright, of, see, we are very well familiar with it, that whenever you are talking about the antrum, let me tell you, it is the fluid filled cavity, alright. It is fluid filled, alright, space or cavity, my dear friends, alright. This is first point you need to remember, alright. And this antrum, dear friends, develops in the follicle, right. It starts to develop in the tertiary follicle initially, alright, in the ovary, alright. Say in the tertiary follicle it will start to develop. Say for example, if I draw the rough structure here, see, in the ovary, alright, so we have, alright, just a rough representation. So there are so many different types of follicles which are developing, alright. So we can find, alright, the primary follicle, secondary follicle, and let us say if this is the tertiary follicle, there will be lot of cells, and there will be this cavity called as the antrum, which will start to develop in the tertiary follicle itself, which is fluid filled. Later, alright, note the point that the estrogen which is present in the ovary, alright, the estrogen, all right, stimulates the growth of this tertiary follicle, and this tertiary follicle will turn into Graafian follicle, my dear friends. So more clearly, all right, the antrum will be seen with respect to Graafian follicle, and in fact antrum is a part of Graafian follicle, all right. So you have to go for option B, that is your right answer. Dear friends, let us move on to the next question. Degenerative process of follicles or eggs in ovary is called, all right. Again, let me tell you here, 4 options have been given: metagenesis, atresia, regression, and none of the above. See here, please understand that the degenerative process of follicles or eggs, all right, if the eggs degenerate, or if the follicles, primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, Graafian follicle, like this, various types of follicles are present inside the egg. The matured follicle is called as the Graafian follicle. So any of this follicle or the egg, if it degenerates, all right, that condition is called as what? Atresia, all right, atresia. So option B is right, all right. So what happens here? See, in case of atresia, the immature, all right, ovarian follicles which have not further matured to form from primary, if it does not form secondary, or from secondary if it does not form tertiary, that they have to be eliminated, all right. So that immature follicles, all right, to go with, all right, my friends, even I can tell you that the further the egg, all right, which is not been fused, all right, by the male gamete, or the sperm, all right. So that will obviously will get degenerated, all right. That process is called as atresia, my dear friends. So please go for option B. Then let us move on to the next next question. Here, the expanded proximal part of oviduct in female is. See, let me tell you first of all, dear friends, here expanded, all right, they are asking expanded proximal part of the oviduct, all right. See here, first of all, let me tell you that the fimbriated funnel. See, whenever you talk about the, all right, female reproductive system, all right, a rough structure have been represented here. There is a ovary which is situated here, all right. Then as soon as to the proximal part, the egg is released here, say for example here, all right. So here there will be fimbriated, fimbria are present, finger like projections are present immediately after the ovary in the proximal part, the expanded part of the oviduct, all right, children. So there in the fimbriated funnel, it is absorbed by that, further the fimbria will, the finger like projections will push it to the ampullary and isthmic junction here. Ampullary, ampulla and isthmus are present, right? So where the fertilization occur, so to that junction further it is pushed by the fimbriae, all right, my friends. So the expanded part of oviduct in female, generally we represent it to as what, children? The fimbriated funnel, dear friends. Okay, so please go for option C, that is your right answer. Next question we have here is, cryptorchidism is a condition of testes, all right, cryptorchidism, note that point. So where options given are unable to descend in scrotal sacs, unable to produce sperms, having been surgically removed, and having remained undeveloped. Okay, let me first of all tell you that cryptorchidism is a condition in which either one or both, all right, the testes, all right, dear friends, testes fail to descend, all right, fail to, all right, descend, all right, from the abdomen into the scrotum. They fail to descend into the scrotum. So I have told you when this will happen. Generally the testes will descend into the scrotum in the 7th month of fetal life, all right. So fine, dear friends, all right. So here cryptorchidism, of course here the answer will be now unable to descend in scrotal sacs. That will be the more appropriate answer. But let us also understand what are the other options here. See, the second option which is mentioned here is that unable to produce sperms. See, if the testes are unable to produce sperm, the condition generally is referred to as azoospermia. All right. So this is the condition, unable to, the testis is unable to produce the sperms. All right. So no sperm in man's ejaculate can be seen. That condition is called as azoospermia. Then, dear friends, third option, having been surgically removed. See, the surgical removal of the testis is called as castration. All right, which is also not the option, my dear friends. All right. So fourth option is having remained undeveloped. That is also not the option here. Alright, cryptorchidism is a condition where we can see that the testes are unable to descend in the scrotal sac. So please go for option A. That is your right answer. Dear friends, next question we have here is that match the correct option. Alright, see here, it's very clear now that firstly we have perimetrium, then followed by the myometrium. Alright, then we have the endometrium. So these are all the three layers of the uterus. Say if you are talking about the female reproductive system, dear friends, all right, see this is, all right, this is the uterus. So three layers it has. All right, the outer layer is the perimetrium, the middle layer is the myometrium, and the inner layer is the endometrium. All right, three layers are present in the uterus. So the myometrium is highly contractile structure. This contraction is very necessary during parturition or during the delivery of the baby. Endometrial waste, all right, is generally seen in the menstrual waste during the bleeding of the menstrual cycle. That is from the first to fifth day of the menstrual cycle. We can find the damage of the endometrial tissues coming along with the other debris. Fine, that's of course there, and of course the perimetrium provides the proper structure to the uterus. Okay, so anyway, so now let me tell you that now perimetrium, all right, so here we need to know what the perimetrium is. Perimetrium is very thin, my dear friends, all right, and thin structure when compared to myometrium, because myometrium is very much thick. So A you have to match with 2 because perimetrium is thin, myometrium is thick, so you have to go for option 3. And endometrium, all right, is glandular layer, because in the endometrium we can find the endometrial glands. All right, we can find the endometrial glands, or it can also be called to as the tubular glands. All right, friends. So this endometrial glands or tubular glands are generally ciliated, my friends. All right, they possess the finger like projections called the cilia, and they, rather I can say that type of tissue called ciliated columnar epithelium is lining them. So fine, anyway, so as these three are the layers of uterus, perimetrium is thin, myometrium is thick, endometrium is glandular layer. So the right option here, you can see A is matching with 2, B is matching with 3, and C is matching with 1. So B is the right answer. So here you have to go for the B option here. All right, next question we have, dear friends, extrusion of second polar body from egg nucleus occurs. See here, first of all let me tell you that the extrusion, the meaning of extrusion here is it is a process actually, where from the ova, all right, from the egg, all right, the generally the what happens here, the second polar body comes out, fine. So when this occurs, extrusion of second polar body from egg nucleus, when it occurs is a question here. All right, so it is a question pertaining to oogenesis. We know that there are of course the polar bodies which are formed which does not form the egg, right? So how does this polar bodies, all right, get extruded from the egg nucleus? All right, see, this happens generally, all right, after the entry of sperm but before the completion of the fertilization. Okay, let me tell you to make you understand this. See that the entry of sperm into the ovum, all right, when the sperm entry occurs into the ovum, all right, This induces what? When this happens, dear friends, alright, whenever the sperm is fused with the ovum and then the sperm is entering inside the ovum, if it has entered, then it induces the completion of meiotic division. Here the signal that meiotic division is completed of what? Of the secondary oocyte. Alright my friends, of the secondary oocyte. Fine. So that's what what happens here. Extrusion of second polar body from egg nucleus occurs after the entry of sperm and before completion of fertilization. So you have to go for option. Alright, A, that will be your right answer. Next question we have, the follicle that ruptures at the time of ovulation promptly fills with blood forming. This is a question. See here, we need to understand that whenever there is the rupturing of follicle during ovulation, all right, of course it fills with blood and it forms a structure called as corpus hemorrhagicum. All right, this corpus hemorrhagicum, dear friends, is also called as the bleeding, all right, corpus luteum. It is also called as what? The bleeding corpus luteum, my dear friends. And further, let me tell you that this corpus hemorrhagicum is a temporary structure formed immediately after ovulation. Immediately it is formed after ovulation, but it is temporary. That is also very important to understand, my dear friends. All right, it's a temporary structure. And let me also tell you that further after ovulation it is released, of course, from the ovarian follicle. All right, and dear friend, this corpus hemorrhagicum is filled with blood that quickly clots. All right, so anyway, so the right answer here is what? Option A. Then the next question we have here is spermatogenesis and sperm differentiation are under the control of. See, spermatogenesis, we know, we are very clear with it that it is a process of formation of sperms, right, from the spermatogonia. And then again, second, what they have given? Sperm differentiation. So they are under control of which hormone we need to identify here. Let me tell you that FSH is responsible for most important hormone which is needed for spermatogenesis as well as sperm differentiation. All right. See, because the FSH helps in initiation of spermatogenesis. When I say initiation, remember that for spermatogenesis to start, we need FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. All right, and further also for sperm differentiation also it is needed. All right, and this FSH, it binds to Sertoli cells. All right, or nurse cells, what you call, dear friends. So when this binds to the Sertoli cells and also to the spermatogonial cells and to the spermatogonia, all right, so here when it binds to the Sertoli cells and to the spermatogonia, here let me tell you that it induces the proliferation of spermatogonia, multiplication of spermatogonia. All right, so anyway, so what we need to identify is in the spermatogenesis and sperm differentiation, which hormone is needed. So without any hesitation, we have to go for option A, that is follicle stimulating hormone. So the next question we have here is sperm's acrosome has hyaluronic acid and proacrosin, hyaluronic acid and fertilizin, hyaluronidase and proacrosin, fertilizin and proacrosin. To understand this question, let me tell you, my dear friends, that acrosome, all right, when you are speaking, it's a anterior part of the head in the sperm. It's the anterior part of the head, my dear friends. All right, so and also let me tell you that it releases two important hormones, that is hyaluronidase and proacrosin. All right, so which later, this is proacrosin becomes active for the active form is called as acrosin anyway. So these two hormones are very important for various activities. Let me tell you that see, the hyaluronidase destroys the hyaluronic acid. All right, this hyaluronidase which is present will destroy the hyaluronic acid, my dear friends. Alright, where this hyaluronic acid is present in the ovum. Alright, and when it is destroyed, only then the sperm can enter into the ovum. That's very important to understand. And of course the acrosin, alright, is very important for sperm binding and penetration as well. It is important for the sperm binding and also for, alright, penetration of the sperm into the ovum. These are the two important aspects about what? Acrosin. So anyway, so the right option are here, the acrosome, which is formed from the Golgi bodies. Alright, so these are the structures which possess hyaluronidase and proacrosin. So please go for option C. That is your right answer for question number 14. Then dear friends, we have question number 15 here. Seminal fluid has sperms and secretions of. Alright, see, seminal fluid has sperms and secretions of is the question here. So again, let me tell you that the seminal fluid is also referred to as the semen. Alright, so it is slightly alkaline in nature and it is a mixture of alright, the sperm cells are present here, alright, in the semen or the seminal fluid, and also many secretions, especially of the accessory glands, we can find in the, alright, the seminal fluid. Further, let me tell you, my dear friends, the seminal fluid also forms around 60%, alright, of the semen, alright, and this 60% of semen will have most of the, alright, the what I can say, the nutrition, the fructose, the vitamin C, the prostaglandins, the flavins, and many other nutritional aspects can be seen with respect to the semen. Alright, and let me also tell you, my dear friends, that most of the semen comes from the the accessory glands and the prostate glands. Alright, so anyway, of course, Corpus gland secretion are also a bit present here. So the right option which we have to go for here is option B, that is, the seminal fluid has sperms and secretions of seminal vesicle, prostate gland and Corpus gland. So this is about question 15. Dear friends, the next question we have here is, which of these can be used to cure infertility, in couples? Alright, which of these techniques is needed where especially the male partner has low sperm count? We need to identify. Alright, very low sperm count if it is present, yes, indeed, the couple may not have children. To have children, what is the technique which can be used here? Alright, see, the best technique which you can go for is IUI, that means to say intrauterine insemination. Alright, IUI refers to intrauterine insemination, where what we are going to do, the sperms from husband, alright, are artificially introduced into the from the vagina into the uterus of the, alright, the female. Alright, so this is how the fertilization is carried out. Okay, my friends, so yeah, without any hesitation you can go for IUI. Alright, where this is used important where the male partner who has very low sperm count. So answer here is option C. Then let us also understand question number 17 here. Which of the following causes abortion in ladies? Alright, see, this is again a critical question. Let me tell you that some bacteria, especially like for example, we have Mycoplasma, alright, hominis, alright, Mycoplasma hominis, and as well as Ureaplasma, alright, Ureaplasma, okay, Urealyticum, alright, Ureaplasma Urealyticum, alright, Ureaplasma Urealyticum and Mycoplasma hominis, especially these bacteria can cause miscarriage. Alright, and of course they are present in the genital tracts, my dear friends. In the genital tracts they can be present, of healthy men as well as women, but the more presence of this mycoplasma bacteria as well as the ureaplasma urealyticum, all right, so this can raise the risk of miscarriage or the abortion, all right. So the right option here we have to go for is bacteria. And let me tell you that the mycoplasma and ureaplasma urealyticum, when they are when they start to infect, all right, the especially the female reproductive tract, they infect the endometrium, my dear friends, that is the inner layer of the uterus, all right. And when endometrium is affected, all right, what happens, what we can say, the uterus becomes unable, the uterus is unable to in fact have the embryo development. That's how it is, my dear friends. So you have to go for option B here. Then friends, question number 18, we have capacitation occurs in. Let me first of all tell you what do we mean by capacitation, all right. See, it is a phenomenon, it's a process where the sperm activation, all right, sperm activation, all right, occurs, all right, by which the sperm develops ability to fertilize the ovum, all right. So that is what we call capacitation, my dear friends, and this capacitation generally occurs in the female reproductive tract. So among the given following options, all right, we have to go for option number C. That will be our right answer. As we move on to the next question, let me tell you, eggs from ovary are released. Where they are released, we need to identify. See, it seems to be a very simple question rather, okay. See, of course, eggs are the female gametes, right? So they are the female gametes. The eggs are released, of course, after their formation from the ovary. Inside the ovary there is a structure called Graafian follicle which releases the eggs after the ovulation process, and these eggs from the ovary, they are released in the oviduct, my dear friends. Option A is correct, all right. And the oviduct, initially, in the proximal side of the oviduct, as I discussed in the previous questions, they have, all right, the finger-like projections called the fimbriae, all right. And from the fimbriae further it is pushed to the the ampullary stomach junction, all right, where if there is a sperm, the fertilization will occur, all right. If not, later after 48 hours the egg will be again degenerated. Anyway, so the right answer you have to go for here is option A. Next question we have, in mammals the testes are located in, all right. See, dear students, when you are talking about the location of testes here, all right, see the location of testes when you are talking, all right, let me tell you that as I said you, in the extra abdominal cavity, all right, we can find the testes, all right. So outside the abdominal cavity, what we refer to as extra abdominal cavity, there is a pouch called as scrotum, all right. In the scrotum, all right, they are situated, and I already discussed about the same. The scrotum provides 2 to 2.5 degree Celsius of lower temperature, which is necessary for the spermatogenesis or for the formation of the sperms, all right, my friends. So the right answer is extra abdominal cavity. Next we have the 21st question here. True placenta of mammals is formed by, see, first of all, let me tell you, dear students, that there are 4 extra embryonic layers, all right. We have 4 extra embryonic layers, all right. Among that, the first one we have is the yolk sac, followed by the allantois, all right. Then we have amnion, and finally we have chorion, all right. So these are the 4, all right, extra embryonic membranes present in the uterus, that is yolk sac, allantois, amnion and chorion. Placenta, see, placenta, the role of the placenta is it's a organic connection between the fetus and the mother, all right, and all the nutrition and expelling of carbon dioxide and the oxygen to the baby necessary for its activities, all right, and many other important transportation of food, as well as many other important functions are performed by the placenta, which we know, dear friends. All right. So this placenta is formed by the two extraembryonic membranes or layers called as allantois and chorion. So generally we refer that to as allantochorion. All right. So the right answer here which we have to go for is that of option D. Dear friends, the next question we have here is structure connecting the fetus to placentize. All right. The fetus to placenta. Which structure connects the fetus to the placenta is the question here. Here, dear students, umbilical cord, all right, is found only in the placental mammals, all right, and it is the connection between the, all right, embryo or fetus, embryo we can say, or fetus you can say, and the placenta. All right. So the right answer here is umbilical cord. And also, dear friends, we know, all right, that when umbilical cord, all right, it is a connecting link between the embryo or the fetus and the placenta. When this is the connecting link, right, when this link is present, only then there is exchange of gas between the fetus and mother, as well as the transportation of food. All right. If this connection was not there, it wouldn't have been possible for exchange of gases and transportation of food. So the right answer here is what? Option A. Dear friends, the next question we have here is, the Sertoli cells secrete a hormone. What type of hormone it is secreting? The question is asked here. Inhibin, or whether testosterone, relaxin, or gonadotrophin. Here, dear friends, see, whenever we are speaking about the Sertoli cells can also be referred to as the nurse cells, and they provide the nutrition for the developing sperms. Alright, that's why they are called as nurse cells, of course. And dear friends, they secrete a peptide hormone. A peptide hormone they secrete. Alright, this peptide hormone is generally referred to as inhibin B, or generally we can say to as what? Inhibin. Alright. So this is the hormone secreted by the Sertoli cells. All right, where it is in fact secreted, this is secreted into the circulation. All right. So of course, all right, so these are the important points you should remember here, my dear friends. So please go for option A, that is inhibin. Dear friends, the next question we have here is, which of the following events is not associated with the ovulation? All right, is a question asked here. So let me tell you, my dear friends, whenever we are talking about this ovulation process, that is generally during the menstrual cycle, all right, during generally 14th day, we say that the ovulation will occur. It can be plus or minus 2 days. All right. That means to say it can occur before 14th day, it can occur in 13th day in some cases, or 12th day in certain cases, or even 15th or 16th day, right? So the ovulation is release of the the egg from the matured Graafian follicle of the ovary. Fine, dear students. Now, which of these the events which are mentioned in the question 24 are not associated with ovulation, we need to identify. All right, let me tell you that the estradiol which is mentioned here, it is not at all associated with ovulation, my dear friends. There is no question of estradiol during the ovulation. See, the decrease in estradiol, all right, level, this results in cessation of menstruation. When I am seeing cessation of menstruation, that means to say stop, the stoppage of menstruation can occur. All right, my dear friends. So remember that. All right. So it is having a role in the cessation of menstruation, because low levels of estradiol will result in such. All right, and estradiol levels, these hormonal levels will be will fall after ovulation. After ovulation is over, all right, complete we can find that these estradiol levels are very low. And also remember that before menstruation, all right, the very peak levels can be seen of estradiol. Anyway, but of course, I am talking here about menstruation, all right, but here there is no question of the ovulation, my dear friends. Estradiol is not associated with the ovulation process, so you have to go for option A. That will be your right answer. Then, my dear friends, next question we have here is, Cortical granules, alright, cortical granules are associated with, alright, this is, first of all, we need to understand what actually the cortical granules are, alright. See, these are secretory granules, my dear friends. These are secretory granules, alright, which are rather, I can say, present in the cortex of ovum or egg or the female gamete, right? In the cortex of ovum we can find this cortical granules, all right. They are secretory in nature, and these cortical granules, all right, they prevent polyspermy, all right, they prevent polyspermy after fertilization. Polyspermy is avoided after the event of fertilization, my dear friends. So polyspermy means what here? Say for example, let me say, when we talk about the polyspermy, all right, see, if the egg, all right, if the egg is fertilized by, all right, more than, if it is fertilized by more than two, or or rather we can say more than one sperm, all right. Say for example, if it is fertilized by 2 or 3 sperms, then the condition is called polyspermy. So this is avoided by the cortical granules which are present in the cortex of ovum. But this polyspermy is avoided during the event of fertilization. So cortical granules, we can say among the given options, 4 options have been given: oogenesis, spermatogenesis, cleavage and fertilization. So the more appropriate answer here we have to go is for of fertilization. So option D is the right answer. Then dear friends, next question we have corpus luteum is, alright. See, what is corpus luteum? It's a endocrine structure, alright. It's a endocrine structure which is present in the ovary of females, alright my dear friends. So that is very important to understand, and let me tell you that this corpus luteum, alright, also secretes an important hormone called as progesterone, which is very important for the maintenance of the pregnancy, early pregnancy especially, and also for the regulation of menstrual cycle. So anyway my dear friends, among the given options, that is, they are asking whether the corpus luteum is excretory or endocrine or digestive or reproductive. So the right answer here we have to go for is option B, that is endocrine. Then my dear friends, we have the next question here. In mammals, corpus luteum is found in which organ? See, in which organ do we find the corpus luteum is a question here, alright. See, let me tell you that, as I said you before in the previous question, the corpus luteum is present inside the ovary of the females and helpful for the, alright, secretion of progesterone hormone. The progesterone hormone helps in regulation of menstrual cycle and early pregnancy. In fact, progesterone is called as pregnancy hormone rather, my dear friends. So anyway, see, the progesterone is all produced by corpus luteum, alright, and progesterone is also important for thickening of uterus. Thickening, it makes the uterus thickened, alright. So fine dear friends, so the right answer which we have to go for is a very simple question it is. So where corpus luteum is found, it is present inside the ovary of female. So please go for option B. The next question we have here is, which of the following is viviparous? Dear friends, viviparous here refers to the animals which give direct birth to young ones, alright. So here there is more care, alright, parental care, alright, as well as I can say that rather the placental connection is present. So until the the complete offspring is fully developed, it will be inside the womb of mother. Lot of protection and embryonic care is also present, alright. So which of these are the viviparous animals among the following we need to identify, alright. See here, cockroach lays eggs, so it is oviparous. Bee also is oviparous, alright. Queen honeybee, we know how many eggs it lays, as well as the butterfly, alright, also lays eggs. Scorpion gives direct birth to young ones here among the following. So please go for option B. Then dear students, next question we have here is, the human placenta is formed from. See, again I think this question we have already solved. It is a repeated question. Let me tell you that there are 4 embryonic layers: yolk sac, alright, amnion, chorion and allantois. Alright, these are the four embryonic membranes or layers which are present in the uterus. So let me tell you, my dear friends, the organic connection between the fetus and the mother, that is the placenta, is formed from both the allantois and chorion. So please go for option C. Then the last question we have here, dear students, sperms are nourished and stored inside. Alright, the question as is what here? The where are the sperms nourished, alright, and stored, we need to identify here among the following. Four options have been given. The Corpus gland, epididymis, and seminiferous tubules, vasa efferentia. These are the four options. See, they are nourished in the epididymis, my dear friends, and let me tell you that epididymis is a very long and coiled tube. Alright, it is long and coiled tube, alright, which receives sperms from, alright, vasa efferentia. It receives sperms from where? One of the another tube of male reproductive structure called vasa efferentia. From this it receives the, alright, the sperms, alright. And let me tell you, my dear friend, that it is responsible for, alright, storing and nourishing. Epididymis stores and nourishes the sperms until they are moved further to the vas deferens, alright. See, first it from the epididymis it goes to the vasa deferens, and then it has to move to vas deferens. Till it moves to the vas deferens, they are provided proper nourishment, alright, and of course they are also stored, alright, where? In the epididymis. So the right answer here is option B. So this completes the session. Please do watch the upcoming sessions as well of the other chapters. Okay, I end this session here. Thank you very much.